Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is SWGOH, and I'm here today to talk to you about the new Phoenix Squad Jedi, Kanan Jarrus. Yes, that's right, we've got a new Jedi in town, and here's a spoiler, I hope you like Jedi. Anyway, back to that later. For now, let's get started on Kanan's abilities so we can help you decide whether or not you want to gear him up. We're going to start with his passive before moving on to his other skills so that things make a little bit more sense. So his passive is called Clear Mind. This gives Kanan a 70% counter chance, and he recovers 25% health whenever he suffers a debuff. Okay, this right here is what defines Kanan. While obviously good on its own, his passive plays into each of his skills in different ways, and I'll talk about that as we go along. So, moving on, let's go to his basic. This one is called Disarming Strike. It's a low damage, single target attack. The big plus here is that Kanan applies offense down to his target, and that lasts until his next turn. Now, a debuff that lasts only until the applicant's next turn is something new mechanic-wise, so there's a little bit of strategic play that will go into this. If Kanan uses this ability on his turn, offense down can see quite a bit of value if applied to a fast enemy character. However, if applied via his counter, there's a good chance that the offense down will wear off before it ever has a chance to be useful, unless on super speed targets like TIE Fighter Pilot. Overall, decent ability that synergizes a bit oddly with his passive. His next ability is called Intervene, and I just want to say that I love this ability. Kanan's going to whack his target for nearly Ahsoka Tano's special level of damage, gain taunt for 2 turns, and then dispel all debuffs from a target ally. So taunt, dispel, and great damage? I'll take it. Obviously taunt with a passive counter chance can be quite good, so there's a lot of synergy there, especially now that Stormtrooper Han has fallen out of the meta. For those that don't remember, Stormtrooper Han's that guy that taunts, and then if you attack him, his whole team gets turn meter, so tanks that also counter are a bit of a negative when he's in the meta, but we should be good on that front right now. Another benefit of Kanan's taunt is that while it's up, his tenacity is doubled, making it harder to apply things like shock or healing immunity that will stop him from reapplying his taunt when it's ready, and that's excellent. May want to think about sticking some tenacity mods on this guy. This is Kanan's bread and butter ability, and I'm a big fan of it. Lastly, we have the ability called Total Defense. Kanan dispels all debuffs from himself and grants him and another ally 40% protection up for 2 turns. Okay, so if you haven't picked up on this one yet, protection up and protection recovery are Capital Games' way of bringing back the effectiveness of healing. Why, you might ask? Well, drop protection on to a target that's lost their protection and some of their health, and now you have the opportunity to slot some heals in there, or let their lifesteal do work while their protection holds. Not only this, but 40% protection is a significant amount on many characters. If Kanan is gear 11 and modded for protection, this could end up being 20 to 30,000 protection heal. And let's not forget about the debuff dispel. If you did manage to stick debuffs on Kanan through his taunt, then now we're going to get rid of that so we can keep taunting. Okay? Okay. At first, this ability seems underwhelming, but I think it really does synergize well with his kit. And so, overall, I think Kanan is only decent for most squads, Phoenix included, because as always, ability block, daze, and shock are pretty big issues. He comes with a base 95 speed, which is slow, but like all tanks, he'll be fairly tanky at gear 11, whether 3-star or 7-star, topping out at 26,700 protection. Most of all, though, there is a synergy that I'd like to point out. And now, this is what I was talking about before. Zeta Barriss. Even more so, Zeta Barriss and General Kenobi together. Putting these 3 together is going to give people fits. If you thought Zeta Barriss and General Kenobi were annoying to deal with by themselves with their 20% health recovery on crit, Kenobi supporting that with taunt, crit immunity, and foresight, well, welcome to hell. Now you're going to be adding another countering taunting tank with pretty decent damage. If you crit him, he heals 20% of his health. If you debuff him and crit him, he heals 45% of his health. If you manage to get him low, he restores 40% of his protection to let his health work back up while his protection holds. Yeah, and he just gave another 30k protection to either Kenobi or Barriss as well. Oh god, this sounds terrible. So I'm just going to put this out there. Don't expect a Jedi rework anytime soon. We just got one, and it's called Kanan. Schwarzkopf out.